Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. Christine Fréchette is set to be sworn in today as Quebec's second female premier, with the provincial election less than 6 months away. Fréchette, who is 55 years old, emerged victorious over Bernard Drainville in the race to succeed François Legault, who founded the coalition Avenir Quebec in 2011 and served as premier since 2018. Her assumption of office makes her the second woman to hold the province's highest political position, following Pauline Marois of the Parti Québécois, who was premier from 2012 to 2000, the 2022 to represent the Sangha riding south of Montreal. Fréchette previously managed the economy and immigration portfolios within Legault's cabinet. Her immediate challenge is to bolster the standing of the coalition Avenir Quebec, which currently lags behind the Liberals, the Parti Québécois, and the Conservatives in opinion polls leading up to the October 5 election. Fréchette has indicated her intention to announce her cabinet next week and plans to make at least one key announcement concerning the cost of living in the coming days. This report comes from the Canadian Press. The Canadian Press reports that Sukhvinder Kaur, a British Columbia woman previously involved in Punjabi language broadcasting, has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Her sentencing, by the BC Supreme Court in New Westminster on April 10, 2026, followed her 2024 guilty plea to unlawful importation. Sangha was arrested in October 2021 after attempting to smuggle 108 kilograms of methamphetamine valued between $1 million and $10 million into Canada from the United States. She had fled a border crossing in Surrey, BC at high speed in a rental vehicle after being flagged for a secondary search. Despite her claims of being threatened and coerced into drug smuggling, Justice John Gibb Carsley deemed her testimony untruthful. Text message evidence suggested she was a trusted and willing participant and had imported drugs on previous occasions. The judge emphasized the significant risks and consequences of the illegal drug trade, hoping her incarceration would lead to a positive change. City News Everywhere reports that Canada's Finance Minister, François-Philippe Champagne, is set to table the federal government's Spring Economic Update on April 28th. This statement is expected to provide an overview of Canada's current fiscal standing since the 2025 budget was introduced last fall, and will detail how global events, such as the war in Iran, are influencing federal financial projections. In November, the Liberal government had projected a deficit of $78.3 billion for the previous fiscal year, with smaller deficits anticipated through 2030. The upcoming update will also incorporate recent commitments, including an increase to the goods and services tax benefit and a new initiative to waive the federal fuel excise tax until Labor Day. Prime Minister Mark Carney has also pledged to reduce day-to-day government expenditures while increasing investments in defense, infrastructure, and home building, aiming to lessen Canada's economic reliance on the United States. The Canadian Press provides a national news roundup. In Quebec, Christine Fréchette is set to be sworn in as the province's second female premier today. With provincial elections less than 6 months away, Ontario Premier Doug Ford is defending his government's plan to add thousands of new jail beds by 2050. A move critics argue is costly and distracts from addressing court backlogs. Meanwhile, a fuel spill from a tanker truck on a New Brunswick highway reached a tributary of the Hammond River and a nearby wetland, prompting ongoing cleanup efforts. Economically, Canadian warehouse leasing saw a significant surge last year, particularly in the Toronto area, as global shippers adapted to U.S. tariffs and sought more flexibility. Finally, in British Columbia, a man sustained a leg injury after a grizzly bear attacked him on his rural property in Vanderhoof, though authorities determined the attack was defensive and poses no ongoing public safety threat. The Ford government is set to significantly loosen alcohol restrictions in Ontario's provincial parks, allowing consumption almost anywhere, including picnic areas and beaches. This marks a major shift from the previous policy that confined alcohol to individual campsites. According to an exclusive report by City News Everywhere, visitors will now be able to bring their own alcoholic beverages or purchase them in select parks. Todd McCarthy, Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks, stated that the change, effective this summer, is intended to improve the overall park experience, support local tourism, while continuing to prioritize safety. When questioned about potential links to increased drowning risks, McCarthy expressed confidence, saying, "We trust people to drink responsibly. We don't see this as being associated with the drowning risk at all," adding a reminder that, if you're drunk, you shouldn't go swimming. Existing rules against public intoxication, underage possession, and open alcohol in vehicles or boats will still be enforced. Certain areas, such as playgrounds and sports zones, will remain alcohol-free, clearly identified by signage. This initiative aligns with other recent modernizations of alcohol rules by the Ford government, including allowing bring-your-own alcohol at outdoor public events and expanded sales locations. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.